Hi everyone, it's Lynn. Today I'm going to make some trees, and I'm going to start with this canvas bag that I got at Dollar General last year. And the first thing I did was just cut it open just to make it a larger piece. And I am going to be using both these pieces of fabric to cover these triangles. I made 4 of them. I just cut them out of cardboard, and they do slightly vary in size, probably about maybe 1/4 of an inch to a 1/2 inch difference. And I just cut the fabric around the triangle, making it a little bit larger than the triangle. And I just laid the triangle right onto the backside of the fabric, and I just ran some hot glue right down the 2 sides, and I folded that fabric into the glue. And I left the bottom part open because I am going to stuff it with some polyfill. Now, for this smallest triangle, you do have to neatly cover the tip of the triangle and stuff the entire thing. I started with a small piece of polyfill so I could push it right up into that point. I used a screwdriver to do that. And then I just continued to fill it until I had it the thickness that I wanted. And once I got done doing that, then I just glued the rest of it shut. And again, with this first triangle, you do have to be kind of neat with it because this is the only triangle for this project that you're going to see the entire shape of it. And if I didn't mention it, this is the smallest triangle. When I was done doing that, I covered another triangle with the same fabric. I skipped the next size and went to the third one. And with this one, I put some glue about 1/3 of the way down maybe, and I glued the fabric right to the front of it. And then I did the same thing I did on the first one. I glued the sides down, and then I stuffed it. Now, you're not going to see the point of this one, so it's not as important. And when you stuff it, now it's only going to go part of the way up the triangle. I wanted to keep the top portion flat and puff out the bottom portion. So again, like I said, did it the exact same way. You do have to be careful with the corners at the bottom of the next 3 triangles because that will show. It's just the top point that won't show. And when I finished doing that one, then I covered the other 2 sizes with the plain green fabric. So you end up with 1 fully stuffed triangle and 3 triangles that are partially stuffed. And the reason I left 1 portion of the triangle flat was so that I could stack them on top of each other and they wouldn't bulge out too far. So I just added hot glue into that flat section and I just laid each piece on top of the other. And it almost gives it sort of like a quilted look. Next, I added just a very simple bow to the top, which of course I added a button to. Then I glued a dowel to the back of it, and then I added a piece of fabric over the top to kind of cover that cardboard and secure that dowel a little bit better. And then I just glued it right into this, I think it was a drawer pull. It was kind of rounded but flat on the bottom. And I just filled it with hot glue to secure it. And just look at how pretty this turned out. I love it. And I made another one using red fabrics. I just used a really small candlestick for the trunk. And I love them both, and I hope you like them too, and I hope you give this one a try. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.